Ladies and gentlemen, this information God wants going to the European to know that government of European to know that if you don't bring in government of Canada under NATO under investigation by according to the God before Third War God released in here. Before God released in here NATO and European. Because for the crime of the Canada, God wants many countries to know that if you don't stand up and freezing government of Canada under my investigation for Muslim terrorist movement behind my future, what they did, which is raising mission of God, and Canada connected by the Obama culture, which is the one side is supporting terrorists, other one connection with the Obama team, and causing many crime, ladies and gentlemen. And Space God side releasing the space attack, ladies and gentlemen, as happening before in Canada. I bring it to your evidence. I bring into your evidence. One of the evidence here, which is Fort McMurray happening, ladies and gentlemen. Now they don't let me, I open my page. You can see that this is a Canada hand. One of the attack happening, ladies and gentlemen, in Canada was a Fort McMurray, an explosion in the Nova Scotia, which is costing many people die. I bring to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, evidence here, which is this happening already in Canada. Which is this happening already in Canada for crime of the Canada government Justin Trudeau behind my future, which is he did cost this. But God, this is not important right now. What is happening in Fort McMurray is big deal, destroyed in one city. But most important, ladies and gentlemen, God wants all of you to know that God releasing biggest attack by Third War. If your team not stand up and attacking Canada by Russia, Mr. Putin. If your team not stand up and attacking, especially this culture India, in Canada, in Canadian Security Service, causing all this crime by the Muslim terrorists in Canada behind my future. So this attack happening before, ladies and gentlemen, I bring it to your evidence. God wants all of you to know that, all of you to receive this information before God attack, because God is one step close to completely bringing government of Canada on the world breaking news on the biggest investigation ever seen in the history. One country coming on the deadly attack by space to freezing their government. Because this country, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, causing many crime behind the future of nation by this man Justin Trudeau and his team, which is in Canadian Security Service, from Iranian culture behind the subject to the Muslim terrorist, laundering money in Canada to India culture. All this causing negative and crime behind my future. To get Canada forward in the world, when Canada is sending virus to the world, Canada is dangerous for nation to be trusted. God wants all of you to understand Canada is dangerous to be trusted. This happening, gentlemen, in Nova Scotia, this happening when I told Canada you be under fire, international fire, and this happening in Canada after. Today, Space God side want, ladies and gentlemen, I send all of you to know that government of Canada coming on the world breaking news for space attacking. I bring it to you evidence right now. for a space coming to attacking by comet, coming closer to NASA. And God give deadly warning to the United States many times, which is the Obama culture did not let my information go forward by hand of Canada, and they blocking, they did many crime. I have evidence to bring into NASA after a space attacking your NASA department. You are one step far, according to the God CIA department. Your building fly on the air because your building be marked CIA department for TNT nuclear explosion to your department CIA for crime of the Canada you involved and you lying Canada carry on. Number two, gentlemen, I bring to all of you to know that this attack coming to the Canada to bring in world breaking news, to freezing government of Canada on the investigation for India culture crime and terrorist culture, to bring in this man on the lawsuit if NATO not attack, if European not stand up by NATO to freezing government of Canada, Space God want third war, ladies and gentlemen, to be hit in Canada. And government of Canada coming on the breaking world news on the investigation for terrorist movement behind the internet, behind the My Future, by hand of their building Canadian Security Service, Ontario, Toronto, terrorist laundering money movement in Canada, to bring in this man on the deadly investigation, deadly attack to freezing this man in the Ottawa on the criminal investigation for crime behind the Putin Russia, for crime behind the European even. This man costing today, even crime behind the Queen. I am witness to come to the news to explain this man costing many crime behind this few country, and especially to Iran. This man costing many crime to this Iranian government behind the subject. Not many people know that by bringing laundering money, terrorists investing money to Canada. I bring into all of you, ladies and gentlemen, to know that Space God want to release the biggest tsunami ever been copied in the history of the world to government of Canada, to bring in basically this tsunami in their capital city, Ottawa, costing TNT.
Gun cotton. 2 others are filled with TNT, and stored throughout is something called picric acid. That's an extremely dangerous chemical used in the warheads of artillery shells. It's even more powerful than TNT. Basically, the Mont Blanc is a massive bomb waiting to explode. 9:04 a.m. It happens. In an instant, all buildings within 800 meters are destroyed. 1,600 people are killed right away. 9,000 are injured.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring it to you evidence here. This explosion happening in Ottawa, I don't know, I understand there was some subject to the God to release this explosion to the Canada in Ottawa. And this explosion happening before to the Canada. This explosion happening before, ladies and gentlemen, to Canada in Nova Scotia. And Space God side, I bring into all of you in the news, gentlemen, to know that if you believe in Canada has been hit by this fire, you must believe NATO must stand up before God bring Sodom and Gomorrah, because plan is destroying government of Canada on the criminal investigation on the movement of India culture, which is the virus sending to the other country, crime, and on the criminal investigation for this man to be judged in the International World Court on the terrorists laundering money in the country. This investigation must come by you CIA department according to God, because you are one step far for this CIA department. Because I bring into you war CIA department from January this month. Because there is no time is going to be left anymore to you carry on this game by Obama culture. I promise to you, CIA department building, you are dead country, CIA. What you casting by Obama culture behind my future. You must believe power has given to destroy 1/3 in the world, and at least 1/3 you be including United States government, Joe Biden. For 350 million people in United States, they are in the risk, ladies and gentlemen, for crime of the Obama culture behind my future, and God give deadly warning to the CIA and US Navy to not let this black culture carry on behind my future. But they did not. And finally, they come again and shutting down my Instagram page, which is not important to me. Most important part, ladies and gentlemen, what United States Congress is going to face. From 2023, ladies and gentlemen, January, Congress House has been warned to freezing Obama culture in the United States on the investigation for crime of the Canada, the casting behind my future, which is coming space releasing nuclear atomic explosion to you, NASA team. If you don't stand up and bring in this culture, Canada, freezing the government Canada under this lawsuit, under this investigation, by space before God attacking CIA building for Sudan and Gumaro, because you must believe CIA department, what you costing me to my future from now by this culture, Obama, I will not let you walk away, CIA department. Even I did, I will kill you, average of you, not average, I will destroy your country, CIA department, and DIA department, and US Navy. Sudan and Gumaro coming to your country, CIA, US Navy, for crime of this motherfucker black culture, criminal death culture in United States CIA, you give job. To motherfucker FBI criminal, you give job behind my future in Canada, which is 8 years they casting crime. You must believe this information God want to go to the House of Congress. Many of you to know that third war raising to you CIA building for Sudan and Gumaro to your country, United States, for crime of this motherfucker black culture, you give job inside your building, CIA to DIA to US Navy control by Obama, and did Joe Biden be responsible for Washington DC, because Washington DC, ladies and gentlemen, be under emergency in few days from now, because I raised in third war from now, from January today, January 10, which is right now, January 10. January 10 tonight. I bring in third war to you, United States CIA, DIA, US Navy, for crime of this motherfucker man. You give job, you did not block this man, or at least taking this man down, removing this man from ground to not let this man carry on anymore, and casting terrorist, finally terrorist movement, Muslim movement behind my future, by Pakistani, by Afghanistani, by Arab Muslim, by India culture, by Iranian culture, because all those people, they give job inside the Canadian Security Service, they are multicultural, and they be running by the system of Canada, which is the anti-Christ, ladies and gentlemen. And I give to you deadly warning, US Navy, because you must believe US Congress, your building fly on the air. Believe, If you don't believe me, believe in this man. Third war coming to you, U.S. Congress, to distributing Washington, D.C. for crime of the Canada you allowing they carry on. And God give deadly warning to the you China government because you be next country, China, to be attacked by TNT nuclear explosion to China ship, China space, China ground. If you don't stand up by Putin to freezing this man, you've been warned, United States government, to raising the Putin to attacking, not attacking, to completely destroying freezing government of Canada under this investigation before third war space attacking your country, U.S. Congress. Because this coming by biggest war ever was in the history to completely bringing government of Canada be removed. But space will attack you, CIA building, United States, for allowing Canada carry on 8 years behind my future. This information must go to the U House of Congress to know that third war coming to United States by biggest earthquake in the Washington TNT tsunami to freezing your department black culture in the CIA and FBI and the criminal investigation for crime of the Canada you allow they carry on here. And this information I am bringing to many of you to know that Space God want to bring third war, gentlemen, to this man on the criminal investigation for crime of this man, what he did cost behind the nation, you can call, behind the many country, what he did cost this crime so far. And I am sending to you, Mr., to know that you are responsible, Mr. Putin and China, according to God, to attacking Canada and bringing this man on the deadly investigation for lawsuit against this man in Canada, what they did. Because God raising third war, ladies and gentlemen, to Canada, the capital city, Ottawa, to 7 city, by space, coming to you closer, NASA, and God want you take big responsibility to not believe in astronaut can hit 1 year, to believe in astronaut comet will hit 1 day or 2 days. God releasing astronaut attack, comet attack to you CIA building for this culture you giving job behind my future, which is costing my future crime against the gods, against the future of my life. And this information must go to many of you to know that U.S. Congress, God want to believe you are on the time of TNT nuclear attack to your House of Congress.